crochet friends. So in this video, I'm actually not going to crochet anything. I just want to talk for a minute about crochet in like the fashion world. So crochet is kind of like having a moment, which on the one hand is really cool, and on the other hand is a little bit concerning or almost depressing, or I don't even know exactly how to put it. So I keep seeing people post in like crochet groups on Facebook or whatever that they found this cute top at Saks Fifth Avenue, or they found this really cute top at Forever 21. And so there's a problem with this, and I don't know how many people realize it, but so back up for a second. If you take knitting, or if you take a lot of different laces, there are machines that can make those. So there can be machine knit, it can be machine lace, but there is no crochet machine. It's not possible so far, as far as inventions go, to make crochet by machine. And that means that every time you buy something that is crocheted, that is handmade somewhere. And I bet you can guess where in the world those are going to be handmade. And so I know there's always kind of the back and forth, like, well, okay, people in whatever country also need jobs. And I'm like, yes, that's true. But are they being paid fairly for those jobs? How many hours is it taking them to crochet a skirt or a shirt? It's a lot of time. And I know even US crocheters, if they sell on Etsy, a lot of times they will undersell. There's some people that will only just barely cover the cost of yarn, and I think that's sad too, because it does a disservice to the crafters as a whole. But I'm gonna just show you, we're gonna switch to my computer here for a little bit, and I looked up on a couple of sites some crochet tops just to give you an idea of what's out there. And like I said, on the one hand, it's really cool because crochet has been it's kind of gotten a bad name. It's like, you know, it's not your grandma's crochet anymore, even though grandmas who crochet are amazing and they do some really good work. But it's got this reputation for being a little bit old and fussy, and so it's having kind of a rejuvenation, especially with young people who are digging it. And so that part is really awesome, and I'm totally on board. But we're going to switch to the computer and just take a look. Okay, so first off, I just wanted to look at this. This is a living wage calculator that MIT put together. And so I live in Pierce County, Washington, and so this is pertinent just to my county. If you want to look up where you live, you can totally do that. They have all the states and all the counties in the US. So a living wage, if I was a single adult in this state, in this county, would be about $15 an hour. Now, I happen to be a married person with 4 children. Both me and my husband work, so they only go up to 3 children, because who has 4 kids? That's insane. Anyway, they say I would need to make about $25 an hour. And now people think I'm crazy whenever somebody asks me how much they should charge for their crochet things. I always say, and this is why I don't sell finished objects, because nobody wants to pay this much for crochet, is that I say I would charge $20 per hour plus shipping plus materials. And that's a lot of time, because even just to make, like, for example, one of these squares, 9-inch square, that'll take over an hour easily. So add in all the other expenses and it gets expensive. So that's just to give you some perspective about what, and not to mention, you know, just the artistry, wear and tear on your hands. It's not really an easy thing. People think, oh, whatever, it's just a hobby, but it takes a lot of work. So there's that. $20 an hour, we'll say, is a living wage. It will even be generous. We'll go back down to the 15. Assume you're a single person living by yourself. $15 an hour is a living wage. $6 an hour is poverty wages here. So moving on. So first I checked out Nordstrom. And so here, oh, hold on. I think it just stopped my video. Okay, so here's Nordstrom. I just searched crochet. I didn't specify what type of stuff, and you can see already we've got crop tops, super popular right now with the not little people, young adult people. I got a hat, some dresses, a bag, this top. Do you know how long it would take to make that top? Okay. So, I mean, there's some cool stuff. Hey, that's cute. Totally could make that. All of these things, these are crocheted, and that means they are made by hand somewhere in the world. Now, sometimes on stores they'll say crochet when it's really just like a machine lace, but these look like they are actual crochet, which means they are actually handmade by somebody. And I like to believe that these companies are paying fairly and giving good wages, but what are the odds that they actually are? I mean, if you could get it done really cheap, wouldn't you? Okay, so let's move on. I pulled up Old Navy just because they're super popular. All right, not so many options here. Again, I just searched crochet. You've got some crochet edgings, you've got crochet earrings made with crochet thread, some lace details. So it's not whole garments made out of crochet here for Old Navy, but they've got some crochet details added on. And now we're getting into no crochet. So they don't have a ton, they've got a little bit. Saks Fifth Avenue, I looked up, and I really hope that these people are getting paid well, because these garments are actually what I would say probably appropriately priced for crochet goods. This is an entire crochet dress, $2,600. I mean, who knows how much that maker got paid, but that took hours and hours to make, I guarantee it. So they have actually a lot of crochet, and in my experience, when the higher fashion brands get it, then it'll start to trickle down more. And so I expect to see more and more crochet popping up. Crochet shoes, that's interesting. All right, coming down. I don't actually know any of these brands, because actually I've heard of Alice and Olivia, just because I did some, somebody mentioned a crochet shirt about them, so I did a little bit of research. So yeah, somebody posted this one in a group that I was in, almost $500 for a granny square sweater. And so I looked up Alice and Olivia, and most of their production is done in China. They're not super transparent about where each individual thing is made, so who knows. And again, like I say, Chinese people need jobs too, and that's cool, but yeah, you can make up your own opinion about that. So lots of crochet stuff here, and then this is the one that really kind of bothers me. So we've got Forever 21, which is super popular and super inexpensive. So they've got a lot of crochet like crop tops and stuff. So let's just do a little bit of tiny mental figuring here. If you take, here we'll just go back up to the top here. If you take one of these tops, $15. Now let's assume that they do a 50% markup, which my brief Googling tells me it's like 50 to 80% markup for retail. So assuming we're being generous and they only do a 50% markup, that's $7.50 off. So now it's a $7.50 top. And they've got to take out some for shipping, handling, all of that supply line stuff. But let's say that only costs them 50 cents or $1. We'll say it costs them $1. So now we're down to $6.50. If all of that actually went to the person who made it, and I'm guessing some of that goes into the factory workers, the management, whatever, but let's just say that all $6.50 of that goes to the maker. What in the world? That hourly rate is so slow. That's already at poverty level if I was going to make that in the United States, if it only took me an hour. And I guarantee any of these tops would take me more than an hour to make. This one here probably, I don't know, 5-6 hours, maybe 3 or 4. And I'm not a super slow crocheter, and obviously I'm just guessing about how long it takes. But if it took me, and I was being pretty fast, and it only took me 3 hours to make a top, I'm making $2 an hour. So that, to me, is the problem with crochet in mainstream fashion. Mainstream fashion, I can speak. There's just, you know, we're undervaluing the creative work that goes into actually making them. It's a skill that not everybody has, and it provides a lot of wear and tear. If you're going to do that for like 10 hours a day or something ridiculous in some factory somewhere in a third world country, that is exhausting, and you deserve to be paid more. Also, support local. That's all I have to say about that. And check out Etsy. There's a lot of handmade on Etsy that is just really awesome. Okay, so I would love to hear what you think about this. Do you think it's an issue? Do you think that it's great? I, for one, just really want to know where they're getting their crochet and how well those people are being taken care of. So that is it for today. Happy thinking about crocheting instead of actually crocheting, since I didn't actually talk about crocheting anything. All right.